All right, so we're back, episode two, and I just went and I watched the video. I just uploaded it, and I gotta be honest, it was I guess it was a fine video, but it was kind of, I'd say, crusty, but because my lighting was like explosive lighting, and my camera was like angled down and everything. But I'm looking at my screen right now. I think I have it fixed pretty well, and on top of that, this pig right here. I wrote subscribe on it, you see, because, I'm a clever guy and I'd say I'm pretty crafty like that. But I wrote subscribe on him and I just had him flipped around on the blank side. I totally forgot to turn him around. So I was upset about that. This is genuine, by the way. This is like the mascot of the show. And it has like a important, it's an important set item because I wrote subscribe on him and everything and then just like totally forgot to turn him around. So I'd say right now I'm a little bit more, better set up than I was yesterday. And on top of that, I filmed that at like 3 in the morning. And don't ask me why. I just did. But today, you know, yesterday we were talking about draft picks and we were talking about quarterbacks. Today I'm not talking about the draft. I'm talking about my Super Bowl predictions and for next year. Next year is going to be, they extended the season. Longer games. I think it's 17 games now. And in the thumbnail, I already know I'm gonna make some people mad because I put my Cowboys on the thumbnail talking about the Super Bowl, and I know that it's just like the most tired thing that a Dallas Cowboys fan can do, but I did it. So, and I'm gonna talk about my case for the Dallas Cowboys winning the Super Bowl next year, and the other two teams on there were the Bills and the Cleveland Browns. So those are my three teams right there. Three teams that I feel like are extremely talented and can do something next year in the NFL. But I'm going to start by talking about the team that I think has the least chance of winning the Super Bowl, which is, unfortunately, my Dallas Cowboys. And the reason I'm putting them on this list is because you look at our team last year, and we didn't have a good season at all. You know, Dak, absolutely gruesome injury. You hate to see it. Even if you're a Cowboys hater, you hate to see that with anybody in the NFL. So, gruesome injury, but I think Dak is going to make a huge comeback next year. And Dak for me next year is kind of like an MVP caliber guy. I feel like he has potential to maybe win MVP next year. And honestly, I'm a firm believer that they have a shot at winning the Super Bowl next year. I really think the Dallas Cowboys are going to have a fantastic season, and I can't wait to watch it. And I know I am making some people mad by saying this because, you either love the Dallas Cowboys or you hate them. And I love them. They're my team. I can't lie to you. But, I think everybody on that team is just going to have a huge comeback season. And we're going to play like we did a few years ago Dak and Zeke's rookie year. I feel like we're going to kind of reamp that flame that we had that year and kind of come back to that team that we used to have. Um, so there's two guys, obviously, Dak and Zeke. Both of them I feel like are going to have huge comeback seasons. And, like I said, I'd go as far to say that Dak, I feel like, could win MVP next year. So, and I feel like they have a decent shot at winning the Super Bowl. I definitely see them going to the playoffs. I definitely see them winning a few playoff games. And I mean, obviously, I believe in my team. I'm not going to hate on them. And I'm trusting the process. I don't like every move that the Cowboys have made. Honestly, I don't really like Mike McCarthy. And I don't think I'm the only one whenever I say that. I just don't really like him as our head coach, honestly. He's kind of a scrub of a guy. And, but who knows? Maybe he's gonna reamp that flame that he had whenever he didn't take the Packers to the Super Bowl. Let's be real, that was all Aaron Rodgers. But he had to have some sort of input there, being the head coach. So that's my first team. So my second team, going on from there, is the Cleveland Browns, and I love Cleveland. I really do. And like I was saying yesterday, I'm an OU guy. Obviously, love Baker, and I absolutely just I can't wait to see what his career is going to turn in the NFL. He is just so talented to me, and just he's just an awesome quarterback to have, and he's so versatile, and he can do just anything really. He's athletic. He can fling a ball. He's kind of he's what you want for an NFL quarterback today. And I love Baker's game, and I love everything that he's done so far. And I think next year he's just going to take it to the next level. And my only thing is with the Cleveland Browns is you kind of saw it this year. They played better after Odell got injured. And that's just a fact. I mean, so, and I've seen a lot of people say, yeah, Cleveland's going to be great next year because Odell's going to come back. They're just going to be better because of it. That I don't know if I totally agree with that, because you look at their situation last year, whenever they started playing better, it was after Odell was injured. So him coming back might kind of be conflict unless that he can fit into the system a little bit better. And it's just Odell is just such a big ego guy. It's just such an explosive ego that he has, and it's understandable. People have just groomed him as like the next great thing as far as a wide receiver goes ever since he was a rookie, and he did the three-handed catch on my Cowboys. Um, so everybody's always hyped up Odell. Everybody's always treated him like he's just this big deal. So it's understandable why he has a huge ego, but he needs to just tune it down a little bit. He needs to just fit into the system a little better, and just be a player. And he needs to play for the team, not himself. And another problem I see with the Browns is their offensive line. Obviously, I mean, you've watched these past few years. Baker's pretty much just running around back there. But I feel like every team in the NFL could upgrade their offensive line a little bit. Because that's kind of what I think about. Whenever you think about success on the football field, it starts at the offensive line, and you need a good offensive line to lead you to success. So that's kind of my thoughts with that. The Cleveland Browns, I honestly do see them as a Super Bowl contender for the next however many years you want to say. They're just going to get better is the thing for me. Baker's just going to continue to get better. The team's just going to continue to get better. I really don't see an end to their kind of reign, I would say. And it's not that they've had a reign going on. Obviously, just a few years ago, they were the worst team in NFL history. So, but you kind of look at them and you see them as kind of the future, I would say, of the NFL. The next dynasty to kind of take over what the Patriots have kind of dropped off. Cleveland's going to pick it back up and take it into the future, I feel like. And obviously, you got the Chiefs in there, and you also have the team that I'm about to talk about that I feel like is going to win the Super Bowl next year, which is the Bills. And I know you're like, wow, Kansas City's not even on this list at all. Yeah, that's right, because you look at Kansas City and the Super Bowl last year, I'm pretty sure their offensive line stayed on the bus because Patrick Mahomes was just running around. It was just embarrassing to watch. And I mean, it shows you how talented Patrick Mahomes is. And it kind of makes you think, wow, if they did have a solid offensive line, there's no stopping them. And then obviously the other team that I'm not talking about on this list is Tampa Bay. I just don't feel like they're going to go back to back. I really don't. It's not that I'm saying that they're a bad team or anything, but I don't even think they're going to win their opener against my Dallas Cowboys. I think Dallas is going to beat them. That's just me. I don't think they're going to go back to back because my thing is, and I was talking about Tom Brady yesterday, whenever I was talking about how, whenever he retires in 30 years or whatever, it was a joke, obviously. But my thing with Tom Brady is he's going to have to start declining sometime, and we've seen it already. I feel like we've already kind of seen it decline, and I think we're really going to see that next year because it comes to a point with everybody in their career where they kind of just decline. And I think that's what we're going to see next year with Tom. So that's kind of my reason. And it's not just Tom Brady. He's obviously not carrying that team at all. They have insane talent. And they built one heck of a team, but I don't think they're going to win it all. I feel like they're going to be hyped up. Obviously, everybody's kind of hyping them up because they did win the Super Bowl last year. And what they did was amazing. Don't get me wrong. but they're not. They're not winning the Super Bowl next year. Neither are the Chiefs. Maybe they could be in the Super Bowl game. I don't know, but they're not going to win it. And that's kind of my thoughts for those two teams. They need fixing, obviously. The Chiefs especially need fixing, and I take that back. Tampa Bay I don't really feel like needs fixing. They're kind of where they want to be, but they're kind of they're in an area where their franchise quarterback is 40 some years old. I don't know how old Tom Brady is, but they definitely, and like I said, yesterday they drafted Kyle Trask, young quarterback who's going to kind of play under him. Um, but Kyle Trask obviously isn't Tom Brady, so I feel like Tampa Bay is kind of in an area right now where yeah they had their dream season last year, but it's not going to happen again, and it's not going to happen for a while. For Tampa Bay again, I feel like, and the Chiefs will be back obviously. They definitely need some fixing because they're a talented team. They're very talented, and they're gonna have a great season next year. But you can't be a Super Bowl winning team with the situation that they're in with their offensive line. I mean, that was just terrible last year in the Super Bowl. I mean, you just really hate to see it for a guy like Patrick Mahomes, such talent that he has, to just. And I'm not saying that the Chiefs are wasting him at all. I think the Chiefs are probably the best situation for Patrick, but they definitely need to get an offensive line around him to take him to the next level. And that's kind of my thoughts for them because they need fixing. They need fixing for sure. So that brings me to my pick for Super Bowl winners next year, the Buffalo Bills. And this is a team, I'm putting all chips in on the Buffalo Bills winning the Super Bowl next year. They're my pick. I feel like they have what it takes, and I feel like this year they were close. I can't remember for the life of me what game they lost in, but I remember watching it and just thinking, they're not ready. They're not ready for it. But the team that they have, Josh Allen for me is, I love Josh Allen, and he is kind of my honest pick for MVP next year. I know I was saying about Dak, and I might have said about Baker, I can't remember, but Josh Allen for me is my honest pick for MVP next year. I feel like the Bills are just going to have a fantastic season. And, there's always been like a side of me that's kind of Bills Mafia, that's kind of a Bills fan. I don't know why, but there's always been that, always been that, I'd say the crazy side of me, which is the fan of the Bills, that Bills Mafia in me. I've just always enjoyed watching their games, and I don't know what it is about me, but I don't know. I just always like Buffalo. And I feel like next year they're going to have what it takes. Buffalo obviously has a pretty rough history in the Super Bowl. Yeah, if you've seen that 30 for 30, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Or if you were alive back then, I don't know, I wasn't, so I didn't watch those. But I'm ready for the Bills next year. And, I mean, they're not going to go undefeated. I honestly think what the NFL has done with this longer season is they've kind of taken the opportunity for an undefeated season and just thrown it out the window. I feel like it's kind of totally impossible now to have an undefeated season in the NFL with, I think, 17 games. I know, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's 17 game season now. I mean, how you have to just be, because football is such a, it's a contact sport, so it's hard on your body. Nobody can go, and I know there's bye weeks and stuff sprinkled in, but nobody can go that long in a row and just be fresh. Especially moving into the colder weather in, January and February, it's just so hard on your body to play football in those colder weathers. Colder weathers, look at me, an idiot. And it's also hard to play in warmer weather, It's just such a hard contact sport that football is, and I think what the NFL did is they've kind of made it impossible for an undefeated season. So I am excited to see what Buffalo does next year. Not going to go undefeated, I don't think. I mean, you just got to have, like, the freshest team ever to go undefeated in this new NFL. So, I'm excited to see Buffalo next year. Obviously, like I said, my Super Bowl pick. I just feel like they're the best team right now. going into this season, and I don't remember. Buffalo must have not had any like huge draft picks because none of them are just coming to my head right now. I should have looked that up before I did this. Yeah, I'm going to real quick. Um, all right, let's see here. So Jack Anderson, offensive line from Texas Tech. Richard, what? Richard Wildgoose, cornerback from Wisconsin. That guy has an insane name. Rashad, probably. Rashad Wildgoose. What a name. Cornerback from Wisconsin. Damar Hamlin, DB, Pittsburgh. Marquez Stevenson, wide receiver, Houston. Tommy Doyle, offensive line, Miami. Spencer Brown, offensive line, Northern Iowa. Carlos Basham Jr., I don't know it. They don't have his, what he plays. And then Greg Russo, something like that, defensive end, Miami. So, right off the bat, you just see 3 offensive linemen that they pick, which, like I was saying yesterday, I don't feel like you could ever go wrong with an offensive lineman. I feel like it's the safest pick that you can make. And their second pick, Rashad Wildgoose, this is the craziest name I've ever heard in my entire life, quarterback from Wisconsin. I definitely would have remembered that guy because of his name. And like I was saying, I watch a lot of college football. And I'm sure if I was a Wisconsin fan, I know exactly who Rashad Wildgoose is because that's just a name you don't forget. I mean, that guy, that's a crazy name. He's going to have a high-selling jersey on NFL.com because that's a super cool name. I can see it now, just Bills Mafia fans jumping on tables with the Wild Goose jersey. What an awesome name. So yeah, that's Buffalo's draft picks this year. 3 offensive linemen. And like I was saying, Carlos Basham Jr., I don't know what he does. Let me look it up real quick. Okay. So he was round 2. What the heck does he play? Come on, show me his position. He didn't look like a big guy. Defensive end. Okay. Boy, just really trying to learn about this Carlos Basham Jr. Okay, so defensive end. And, wait, hold on. What was that guy's name? Wild Goose. Rashad Wildgoose. Boy, that guy's name. That is the craziest name ever. Huh. Pretty neat. Round 6. Oh, okay. So what I was reading from there, I just looked it up on Google. They didn't have those in order. So just for all of you perfectionists out there who are about to make fun of me for not saying those in order, because it says right here he was picked 213 in round 6. So yeah, that little list right there didn't have him in order. But I can tell you what, I'm gonna have my eye on Rashad Wildgoose next year just because that dude's name is insane. I'm definitely gonna be looking up what his situation here in a little bit. Okay. All right. So moving on from Buffalo's draft picks. Like I said, you see 3 offensive linemen there. Beautiful. I love seeing that. Picking offensive linemen is always smart. Because those guys are talented. They're big guys, and young up and coming offensive linemen is just what you really need in the NFL, especially if they're still skilled and talented. I can't talk. Buffalo, my pick for the Super Bowl winners next year, as well as my pick for Josh Allen winning MVP. I feel like they're going to have a great season. I'm not going to predict their record because I feel like that's stupid to do. In the NFL, it's just impossible to pick records. I did it yesterday with the Jets, saying they'd probably win like 4 or 5 games, but I feel like that's a pretty safe bet. They probably won't even win that because the Jets just need to do a lot before they're winners again. But I think I'm gonna wrap that up. This episode's gonna be about 10 minutes shorter than yesterday's episode. So I appreciate you guys for watching today. Like I was saying yesterday, not everything I'm going to be talking about is sports with this show. I'm going to be talking about other things. I just really have NFL on the mind right now. I'm just excited for football. And whenever football comes back around, I'm definitely going to be doing, my top 25 or, preseason top 25 ranking for college football. And I'll probably do it in the NFL too. I'll probably do my top 10 preseason for the NFL. So be looking forward to things like that and content that's not going to be all about sports. And I'm going to be talking about some NBA playoff action coming up here in a few days. I need to watch a little bit more because I haven't watched really any NBA this year, so I need to get my NBA cap back on, really get back into the zone for the NBA action, and just get back into the playoffs. They're going on right now, so I'm gonna be researching that stuff. So, like I said, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.